Welcome to Google Forms. Right now I'm just going to show you how to create a form and how to view your results of your form. So when I'm in Google Drive, I'm going to click on New, and I don't really see Google Forms listed until I check More, and now I see Google Forms as one of my options. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Google Forms. And what this does is it brings me to a template to begin creating my form. So first I'm going to title my form. I'm going to just call it Test Survey. And now I just want to I want to check my form settings here. So I can choose to require a Fayetteville Manlius School District login to view the form, which means that even if someone had the link to my form, if they were not part of our FM Schools domain, they would not be able to fill it out. The other thing is that I can choose to automatically collect the respondent's Fayetteville Manlius username. If this is a test or quiz that you're creating for your class, you'll definitely should check that so that it will actually list in the results who responded what, and then you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't know whose test this is. Okay, so the other one is show a progress bar at the bottom of the form page. If it's kind of a long form, you might want to do this, let people know that you're 3/4 of the way through the form, keep going, some encouragement to keep moving on. I can choose to only allow one response per person so that students cannot take it more than once. And I can shuffle the question order, which is also helpful if you're doing this as a test or quiz. So I'm just going to uncheck this. And if I uncheck that, it says this will make your form accessible outside of Fayetteville Manlius. Are you sure you wish to proceed? And I'm going to say OK. Because let's say that I wanted to just provide people with a URL, like on a website, like I did for this class. And I really want anyone to be able to fill it out, not just FM employees. This is where I would just leave all of these blank, and it almost becomes public as long as you have the link. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of things here. Now, these 4 little icons at the top are the ones that we're mainly going to use here. So the first one I want to just take a look at is change theme. So if I click that, you'll notice on this right-hand side of the screen, there's lots of different themes that you can apply to your Google form just to give it a different look. So I'm going to choose the one called Library. Don't really like that one. Let's try a different one. This is the pendant banner. All right, kind of cute. I think I'll leave this. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to click on Edit Questions. So my Google form does start with an initial question that you'll notice here. And the initial question is a multiple choice question. So let's just fill that out. I'm going to say, what is favorite ice cream? Okay, and I can have some helper text if I need to give some more details about the question. And this is going to be a multiple choice. So my first one is going to be vanilla. Now to get to the next box, just hit Tab. I'll say chocolate and strawberry. Now if you want them to be able to add their own choice, I could click an other box, and then that puts this right in as part of the question. Okay, and then the advanced settings, some of the types of questions do have advanced settings. This is just shuffle the option order, which you can do as well. I'm just going to turn that off. And is this a required question that you cannot submit the form without requiring the question? If it is, then you should click this box. If it's not, then just leave it blank. So now I'm going to hit done. Okay, and now you'll notice it says add item. And now I can choose the next type of question. So maybe my next question is going to be a fill-in text. So I'm going to say, who is your favorite teacher? Okay, so now they can type in their question because it's a text question that I chose. If I wanted to have a longer response, notice how the box is kind of short, you can choose a paragraph of text as well. This is more like for a one-liner or a single answer. Under advanced settings, there is some information where you can have data validation, which is helpful with the auto correcting. So you could, just say if this number is in here or if this type of text is in here, so you can add that. I'm just going to leave that blank for now. Some of you probably don't even want to know about that. Okay, the next item that I might want to add. It could be any of these things. So I can have choose from a list, which means you can choose multiple items from a list. Checkboxes, same thing, multiple choice questions, text questions. You can also do scaled questions. You can insert an image if you'd like. So let me try and see if I have any images. I'll go by, I guess I'll hit upload and see if I have anything saved here. I have a picture of tasks. I'll put that in here. So you can actually center your picture, whatever you want to do. You're going to add a title. I'll just call it tasks. Hover text, which means if you hover over the picture, more text will appear. And I'll just say done. So now this is just like a picture that's part of my test, because now I might say, maybe it was a graph, maybe it was just something they need to pick some information out of. So now I might say, add a text question, and I'll say in the picture above, what do the check marks stand for? Okay, so there's my question. Right now it's a text question, so they can type that in. I can actually change it on the fly and say, no, I want it to be multiple choice. And now they can do that, add my choices. So you'll notice that you do have some options. And when you're here, let me go to the bottom of my list and choose the add item. You'll notice that you could do videos, you can have a page break, you can put like a little section header if it's like a new section of the survey or the test. Another type of question that's kind of cool, you can do grid questions, date times. I'm going to actually just show you that type of question, which is similar to like a grid, and that is a scale question. So I might say, rate your homeroom teacher. All right, so my scale is going to be from 1 to 10, not 1 to 5. And with 10 being I'll just say worst, and I'll say if you did 10, that's the best. It's a required question. Nah, they don't have to fill it out, and I'll hit done. So notice how it creates the scale for you, and it tells them that 1 is the worst and 10 is the best. If I ever want to go ahead and change my questions, I can click here on the edit button just by hovering over next to each question. You can go into any question and you can hover and edit it. So let's say that I wanted to edit this because I actually want, I'm just going to hit tab because I'm going to add another choice here. And sorry about that. Or I might want to hit other, or I can just choose my options. I think I'm going to get rid of strawberry. Strawberry is not really even a good option for me. I know nobody likes strawberry in my family, so I'm just going to leave it as this. The next thing I might want to do is hit done. But then let's say I go down to maybe my rating question, and I'm going to edit that one. And I want to change my scale to be 1 to 5 instead. And hit done, and it changes it automatically. The other thing that I can do is if I'm going to do a couple of rating questions, maybe I want to keep it kind of similar, I can duplicate my question instead of creating add item. So if I duplicate it, it just basically deletes the whole thing. So now I'll say rate your school and keep the same rating and just hit done, and it's just a quick shortcut so that you can keep adding these. Now at the bottom, you can leave a little message once they finish. I could say thank you, or I can say whatever I want. So this is the page they're going to see after the respondents have filled out your survey. And I can show them a link to submit another response, which means I'm allowing them to take the survey more than once. So you can turn that off or not. If I check this, it'll publish and show a public link to the form results. So that's an option if you want people to see how well everyone else is doing or what they're doing. Or I can allow responders to edit responses after submitting. If I was doing like a test or quiz, I might choose to do this because then they can go back and change their answer. Or I can just uncheck all of these and not allow any other options and just hit send form. Now, when you hit send form, it's going to give you a URL for your form, which you can just share the URL if you'd like. You can embed that this form into an existing web page if you'd like. So you could embed it into a Schoology page or even Blackboard or a district website. Or I can send an email to a particular group of students. So I could actually say like my whole Google class, and here we go. And then what I'm going to do is I can add a little message. And then when I hit send, it's going to send an email notification. So you can uncheck that too and just invite the people. And then if you had put some parameters at the top, like you were going to require a login or something like that, it would still allow those people access to actually fill out the form. So I would just go ahead and hit send when I was ready. I'm going to not do that because I chose the wrong Google class, and these are people that I worked with over the summer, and they're not really all FM people. So I'm just going to exit out of mine. Okay, once I've done this, I can go up and view what my live form looks like at any time. So if I click View Live Form, oh, I almost had forgotten I put that theme on. It'll show you exactly what your form is going to look like to people when they go to fill it out. Okay, so why don't I just go ahead and fill this out right now. Who is your favorite teacher? Well, that would be me, of course. And in the picture above, I didn't really put any options, so I guess I'll add option 1. And rate your teacher. Well, she is the best. And my school is, I don't know, it's the best, but I'll just give it a 4 for this purpose. And go ahead and hit submit. And since I didn't give any options here, I don't have any other links. But if I had chosen those options at the bottom, like allow more than one response or see summary results page, the person would see the link right here. Okay, let's take a look here. The other thing that I want to show you is view live responses. So once you've created your test, first of all, if I go back to Drive, you'll notice that here's my survey test, and then here is my results page. It's actually a Google Sheet that is automatically created when you create a form. If I come back to my actual form, and I click this button that says View Responses, all it's going to do is open up the Google Sheets page that has automatically been created. So I'll just show you how that works. I'll hit View Responses. It just opens up this file. And what it's doing is it takes each question and puts it in a column, and then the data is listed within the column. So this is the first respondent of the survey, which was me. Now, if I required a login, it would have my name right here. And then each respondent is just going to fill this out. So this is kind of cool. You got a spreadsheet of data, which I guess is okay, but it's not very, it doesn't look great to have, I mean, if you're just looking at it, if I wanted to really analyze data or to show the results of some data, this isn't usually the easiest way. What is a great thing about this is just that you can manipulate your data just like you would in any spreadsheet. So that's a nice feature. One other thing that you might notice about data and having a spreadsheet is like one thing, here's just a survey idea. If you're trying to collect like a group of emails really quickly, you could create a Google form, have the person submit their email via Google form, and you would have all the emails show up in one single column that then you could copy and paste and use in any document or any sharing or anything like that. Now, down here where it says form responses, it just allows me to either protect this sheet, I can change the color, and I could duplicate my sheet as well. Now, what you really want to see, though, is the form responses in, a more visually pleasing sort of way. So what you can do is click up here when you're in Sheets. You're going to go up to Form, and you're going to say Show Summary Responses. What that does is it brings a summary page, which is kind of nice because, I mean, I only have one response, but anything that is available to be graphed can be graphed. So let me show you one that people have actually filled out. I'm just going to go back here and open the survey that the practice survey for this class. And this is my data sheet, so I'm going to double click it. And this is the data that's been collected so far, and at least there's a few responses already. So now if I click Form and say Show Summary of Responses, you'll notice that it brings a really nice page up. So the first section, this was like text fill-in answers. This was my check all that apply. So I can see how many people chose that they're using these Google tools. What are your thoughts on the class so far? Okay, the I am confused I actually had filled that in, kind of like that answer. And then it's giving me the number of daily responses. So right now, there not very many people have taken this quiz yet, but it's giving me a graph of how many took it on each particular day. So this is a really nice spreadsheet or summary sheet that is just it's just a great way that you can print it out, or you can actually embed this form or create a link. Notice it's got its own hyperlink, so you can link your results page somewhere else as well. As people go and keep creating and filling out the survey, the results page automatically updates the moment they hit submit on their form. Now, if I want to go back to view all responses, it opens up basically the same spreadsheet that was collecting the responses again. So this is really the basics of creating a Google form and utilizing a Google form. This again, I think that really, I don't want to give you too much right now. I want you to just play around with this. Your task is going to be to create your own Google form. It doesn't have to be long, just a few questions. It's a good opportunity for you to practice and explore some of the different question types and to take a look at your summary results pages. Once you've completed your survey, you're going to share that with our entire class, or by either couple different ways. You can click the send form button to do that, or if you would rather, you can take this link and you can post it by copying it and posting it in Google Circles, or you can email us. I don't really care how you share the link. You can decide what's the best way for you. But then go back and check your results page, because once you share it, we will all go through and try to fill out some of the surveys. And so you should see some responses coming up and you'll be able to play with the data. Okay, everybody, have fun creating your very own form.